Yeah, look, they call him Iron Mike Tyson, but I'm Titanium Jake Paul.
Oh.
On July 20th, I'm going to show the world that I
Definitely look they call him Iron Mike Tyson. Yet I'm Titanium Jake Paul Gracious on July 20th. I will show the world that I can outbox Mike Tyson. I think individuals that said that wish they were up here so no other person can do it. Who else can do this? Who else can close the wearing seen down? No other person can do it. No other person, Jake Paul, has recently responded to Mike Tyson's new preparation film, giving his stunning reaction to it. In the meantime, Joyce has shared his predict for the impending session. He said, "Better believe it, truly gets individuals talking. And it connects with a more extensive crowd. Bad to the bone boxing fans will watch boxing notwithstanding, but since of the diversion, it carries more eyes to the game." Joyce recognized the troublesome idea of Jake Paul's contribution in proficient boxing, perceiving the polarizing impact it has on fans and savants, the same regardless of his qualms about specific parts of Paul's persona. Joyce lauded the YouTuber devotion to the game and his obligation to preparing and improvement. He underlined the meaning of Paul's presence in drawing in a more extensive crowd to boxing, featuring the diversion esteem that his battles bring to the game. Joyce added, "And clearly for individuals in the event that you're boxing on the undercard, it's really great for boxing. I think Jake Paul, I appreciate that he's truly committed to the game. And he gets the best preparation and expects to further develop in that the wide range of various stuff perhaps not really yet. I wouldn't have the option to watch an entire one of his YouTube recordings, yet Mike Tyson, he's a legend." Conversely, Joyce communicated unequivocal deference for Mike Tyson, whom he rever as a legend of the game, pondering Tyson's celebrated vocation and considerable range of abilities. Joyce voiced his craving to see the previous heavyweight champion arise successful in his session against Paul. He referred to Tyson's preparation film as proof of his persevering through capacities. Guessed on whether the famous fighter actually has the deftness and ability that made him an impressive power thriving. Joyce added, "I maintain that he should win. There's some extraordinary film of him preparing and stuff. Clearly, he will bring in fair cash. Well, they're both going to bring in good cash from it, attracting equals to other high-profile matchups, battle sports. For example, Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou." Joyce highlighted the emblematic meaning of Tyson's conflict with Paul in his view. The session addresses a standoff between conventional boxing and the expanding peculiarity of VIP-driven matchups, with Tyson filling in as the leading figure for the game's legacy and honesty. He added, "I'm eager to see it. I think has Mike Tyson actually got it, actually got the moves. And clearly it resembles the legitimate fighter against the YouTube fighter. It's sort of like AJ and Ngannou. It's like AJ is an appropriate fighter you need to see for boxing. It resembles 1-0 boxing. So is this going to be 2-0 boxing? Will be fascinating to see, even at 57 years old. Mike Tyson can in any case order a room with a couple of startling words at Monday's question and answer session to formally send off his battle against Jake Paul. The person who once announced, "I will tear his heart out," avoided going almost that far, yet the threatening tone stayed during the procedures. Tyson remained generally tranquil and recognized that despite the fact that he loved Paul as an individual, that didn't make any difference. Once they began battling, Tyson communicated that he truly preferred Jake a ton, yet underscored that once Jake was in the ring, he needed to battle. Consequences be damned, as it would be the case. "I like Jake a ton, yet when he's in that ring, he needs to battle like his life is subject to it, 'cause it will be the crowd ejected in a tune of pants." Yet Paul remained undaunted, gazing intently at the most prepared foe he had experienced in his barrening boxing excursion, with his scale tipping over the 230 pounds imprint in status for his debut heavyweight session. Paul drove Tyson's tenacious commitment in coordinating this conflict. For sure, Paul attested that it was Tyson himself who supported for the shift from a display to an authority-proficient confrontation planning. To scratch the result into both their vocation, Counts Jake Paul expressed that Mike was down and accepted that he had consistently wanted to take part in such a match. He referenced that it had been bound to happen with the two of them, calling each other out for quite a long time. And they at last had the valuable chance to get it going on Netflix, which he alluded to as the greatest stage on the planet. Jake commented that things just continued to get far superior. Jake further added that Mike believed that the match should be an expert battle and wanted the power of fight. He communicated his regard for Mike's choice to take on the battle and recognized his boldness in endeavoring to stop him, as numerous contenders had meant to do. Jake then commented that if Mike would accomplish that, he would be viewed as a legend, and Mike needed this. Mike maintained that it should be a master battle. He needs the conflict. Thus I regard them for taking this battle, for moving forward to attempt to stop me, since that is what this multitude of warriors have been attempting to do, is end the YouTuber. And in the event that Mike can do that, then at that point, he's a legend. Normally Mike Tyson tended to the essential concern that many had before the Paul session, which is his old age during his pinnacle. Tyson encapsulated dread and constancy inside the boxing domain, arising as a considerable top dog who abandoned a wake of broken rivals on his determined excursion through the heavyweight positions. With Tyson's forthcoming session against Paul, it's important that his last proficient triumph traces all the way back to 2003, and he hasn't secured a significant title beginning around 1996. When he ventures into the ring with Paul, Tyson will be a simple 3 weeks past his 58th birthday festivity. Yet Tyson doesn't seem to think often about any of that. He fought back forcefully against the people who contended that he was excessively old for this battle. Mike stressed that the people who scrutinized their match probably wished they were in their position, in light of the fact that no other person could accomplish what they were going to. He stated that together he and Jake planned to have a tremendous effect. Mike recognized their companionship, yet clarified that once they ventured into the ring, that kinship would be safe. The two of us, we will do this. And we're companions. There's no question with companions, except for in that ring. We won't be companions. That __. In a bid to strengthen his preparation routine, Mike Tyson declared that he's been drenching himself in dismal songs suggestive of burial service walks while going through thorough exercises in the rec center. Mike needs to show Jake Paul that he actually can end battles, despite the fact that he's not a similar fighter. He was the point at which he was the top dog a long time back. Jake, as far as it matters for him, just offered his adversary a grin as a trade-off and pronounced that he was ready to acknowledge anything that Tyson brought to the table. For Jake unhesitatingly expressed that he accepted he would have the option to endure Mike's punches. He declared that being a characteristic conceived heavyweight, climbing into that weight class was his predetermination, and he expected to exhibit to Mike, who had more power. Jake communicated his conviction that Mike was misjudging him, and he felt that others were doing likewise, solidly accepting that he hit harder. I realize I will actually want to. I'm a characteristic conceived heavyweight. This is what I was destined to do, is to climb into this weight class, and I will show Mike who has the more power, since he's underrating me. I think every other person is underrating me, and I accept that I hit harder. Jack recognized the difficulty